What's up, everyone? I'm Shafi Malik, and you're listening to the Who Dropped the Popcorn podcast. The premise is simple. One respects a film that we know the others haven't seen, and we all come together here to discuss it. Joining us tonight is Dave McHugh.
Coming to you live from the corner shop at Sand Street. Sup, players? Nice to see you all.
Andy Newlands.
I will cast abominable filth upon you, make you vile, and make you a spectacle.
Ooh.
Kyle Hammond.
Goodbye, horses.
Goodbye, viewers.
And we have a very special guest on the show. He's a singer, a rugby player, a boxer, a financier, all the way from the mean streets of St. Helier, Jersey. It's William Hunter.
I wonder if you know how to live in Tokyo. If you see me, then you mean it. Then you know you have to go. Fast and furious. Do it.
Way.
Here's a warning. We'll be going into heavy spoilers for this film, so we suggest you watch the film before listening to this. This episode's choice is Andy's. Andy has chosen 2022's Nope, written and directed by Jordan Peele. The story centers around two siblings, OJ, played by Daniel Kaluuya, and M, played by the brilliant Keke Palmer, who are running a family business of stunt horses. However, their existence is turned upside down when they find UFOs visiting their branch. Andy, why did you choose this film?
3 reasons. Reason number 1, because you sent me the trailer and was like jizzing your pants about, oh, this looks amazing, this is amazing. I looked at the trailer and felt exactly the same. Number 2, I was in London a couple of weeks ago and I was walking past the premiere and it just looked absolutely insane. And number 3, I really like Jordan Peele.
Fantastic. Great.
Thank you.
Reasons why. So I think I'd just explain to the viewers the reason why we've got our special guest here. So Will is a very good friend of mine. We've known each other, we've just figured out for about 10 years now. The reason why I've asked him to come on the show, well, Andy chose Nope, and when I first saw the trailer of Nope, I texted Will straight away saying, we got to watch this together. Because the reason why is because, I mean, I go to the cinema, Will, quite often, but the 2 Jordan Peele films before that, we watched together. So we thought we got to continue our tradition of watching Jordan Peele films together. That's why. Will, how are you doing today?
Yeah, all good. Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here and pleasure to, sit and talk through this film. I am saying it quite nicely, but actually I didn't enjoy the film. So,
well, all right. Yeah.
Well, hang on.
Oh, the punchline now. You're just taking all the energy out of the discussion straight away.
That's it. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next episode of Who Dropped the Popcorn.
Yeah, see ya. All right.
Try.
Sorry,
Thanks for inviting me. I didn't like the film.
You didn't even say who you are. I was gonna say introduce yourself, but no, you're
sorry,
like, no.
sorry.
By the way, this film's fucking shit.
You've already done the introduction.
Okay. Anyway, Will. So anyway, yeah. So that's why I've invited Will to the show. Will, how often do you go to cinema?
I guess probably most of the times is when I go with you.
Just a Shafi, isn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah. He kind of just messaged me out of the blue every couple of months saying, "Can we watch this film?" It's either you guys aren't free to watch it, and then that means I'm the one left having to go watch it with him. So.
What? And then he doesn't contact you in between?
Yeah. No, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Drop
and
a
there's
message
nothing going on
every.
for the full 10 years of your relationship.
I use him for a Cineworld card. That's why. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And also he gets discount from his work as well, doesn't he? So.
He always makes sure that I pay for it first.
I always offer. Don't start. I always offer.
Yeah, that sounds right. That.
Well, let me just check the next listings for for any good films I want to watch, and I'll text you and I'll let you know.
Be quick before Cineworld disappears, man.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
We might not even have a Cineworld anymore.
Well, if Cineworld does go bankrupt after a couple of months, just let me know. Has Shafi actually been in touch with you?
Yeah. Our friendship is bankrupt now. So
He's going to start asking me for like flight details, saying, "Oh, do you want to go to the cinema? Do you want to go to the cinema? We've got to get we've got to get the 5:10 flight out with BA."
you must have some good air miles, right, Will, or not?
Yeah, because I'm always paying for you.
Anyway, so
Wow.
yeah, so that's the thing. Yeah, Will is sort of my my partner in cinema.
That's not really how Will's described your relationship at all.
Okay, so right, Andy, would you care to recap the film?
Yes, definitely.
Hey, what's that you say? It's Andy's articulate analysis.
All right, so this film, fucking hell, where do I even start? So basically, you're in the cinema and you're watching Otis Hayward Sr. sitting on a horse, and then something falls from the sky and he dies. And then you find out like the family, so it's an all black family, and they're like horse handlers in Hollywood, and the first like whatever company like you'd call that in Hollywood, so they're quite well known. They've got this ranch, and then some shit happens, and then the son, notices something in the cloud, and then essentially it's you think it's a spaceship. And you're like, okay, and then you kind of, some shit happens and it's like, then it's not a spaceship. It's an animal pretending to be a spaceship. Holy shit. And they basically try and capture this on camera, and there's lots of sub-levels about social media and staying away from, social media and not fucking, going on TMZ and all the rest of it. And then there's this mad monkey, which we'll talk about later. And then some crazy shit happens. It's quality. It's Jaws meets Close Encounters meets, I don't know, a Western. I don't even know how to describe this film. It's a science fiction horror film, neo-Western. Let's go with that. You got to watch it in the cinema as well, and that's what happens in this film.
So we'll get back to the whole cinema thing, but Andy, because we spoke about this film, off mic, and the general gist of with the opinion I got from you is that you were sort of in the middle. You kind of didn't, like it, but you kind of found some sort of positives in. But it sounds like you've warmed much more to it. Is that right?
Yeah. So this podcast has changed the way I deal and react to films. So I didn't enjoy the experience of watching this film. It sounds mental, this, because there are so many crazy things that happen in this film. But I was a bit bored at some points in this film, and I thought there were some things that were just a bit silly, and there are other things that happened where I was crushingly disappointed. Like, for example, when I thought the film was going in one direction, I thought, holy shit, there's some aliens in the shed. And it just turned out to be some kids. That sort of stuff was annoying me all the time. And then the monkey thing, I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? And then I left. Maybe I was too tired. But then afterwards, as I always do in preparation for these podcasts, so that Shafi and Kyle don't bollock me, I read 1,000 reviews and watched all the videos and stuff, and then understood some more of the sub levels of this film. And now I can't stop thinking about Nope, and I want to watch it again with my clever brain in, rather than my silly brain that I took to the cinema with me on that night. Because honestly, I'm so happy this film exists. It's just wonderful that this film is out there, because there are some, like, fucking hell, even this monkey bit on its own would have been just awesome to have up on the screen. So I'm glad I watched it. But like with some other films we've watched, I've enjoyed thinking about it more than the experience of watching it.
Just to reply to Andy, so I've kind of got the opposite of that. I really enjoyed the film, and then reading all the stuff about it afterwards, I kind of like it slightly less.
Oh, wow.
Oh, really?
I just thought it was a big, dumb, not dumb. I just thought it was like a big summer Hollywood movie, monster movie blockbuster. And then it's only afterwards I started reading all the themes, I thought, I don't really agree with that. I just liked it as the big summer spectacle.
So did that part work for you then, regarding the chase and the whole thrill of it? That all worked for you?
I was entertained for all of it, yeah. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah. I kind of know what everyone's opinion is of this film, so it's good that we've kind of gone with the two positive opinions. Now let's go to the misery of the podcast. Let's start with you, Dave.
Miserable McHugh is here for you. It's miserable McHugh.
I thought you were referring to Will already. I was like, blimey. Well, how do you know my opinion about it? I can't remember.
Because Andy told me.
I went for a drive with Shafi.
Okay, yeah. So my God, it's interesting because, like Yeun says, I'm going to watch it with my clever brain. But it's more clever people wrote reviews, and now you know what they've said, and you're going to go in and watch it in a different mindset. But my God, I was so bored. I was just, this film bored me from start to finish. Wow. And I just hated it. I'm so sorry. I know we shouldn't be negative about films on this podcast, but I have to be honest. I hated this film. I was just so bored. And what I hate is false kind of
red herrings
scenes where you think it's going to be a mad scene and it just turns out it's some kids dressed up as
so annoying,
like monkeys or whatever they were.
But hold on. But what you brought up, that's a trope for horror films, isn't it? Jump scares is like, but then it's a cat that comes like
that. But with Nope, it just took ages and never really went anywhere.
Yeah, there is. I hate that. Like I think Quentin Tarantino is amazing at setting up an intense scene, like a tense scene. Tarantino, and it's like the sort of bar scene in Inglourious Bastards is one of my favorite scenes ever. And but then it's like in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, where you think something mental is happening, and it just turns out he was just asleep. And I'm just like, but it was tense, but I just feel so shortchanged by those sort of scenes. So yeah, I'm so sorry, but I hated this film from start to finish, and was beyond bored. When I watched the trailer, I thought, nope, no, thank you. And the film delivered in that sense. I just hated it so much. Like, I hated this stuff.
Can I just say it's nice that Dave's got an opinion of a film for once?
Yeah.
It's been about 10 episodes.
No, he does. No. He does have opinion. He does have opinions, but then it's like, explain that, Dave. It's just my opinion. That's it.
I think it's because Dave has just finished work and doesn't have 8 cans of breather.
The only explanation behind my favorite explanation was why would you be scared? Why would you be scared of having to deal with the devil or something like that? He went on a big rant about if I dealt with the devil, I wouldn't be scared.
The wailing.
Yeah. So,
anyway. I stick by that. I wouldn't be scared of a bug landing on my windshield if I spent my day.
You're fucking insane. If that happened to you, you'd shit your pants. I've said this for months.
They would be scared just being behind the wheel ananyway.
That wasn't my point. My point being is that he got scared. He got scared of these little bugs landing on his windshield.
Okay, anyway, we've invited a special guest, except we've ignored him for about half an hour now. So, Will, tell us your opinion of this film, even though you revealed it before.
Yeah. Sorry to be a Debbie Downer, but I mean, I was expecting to like this film because obviously, Shafi, like you said, we watched Get Out and Us, and obviously the films that those films by Jordan Peele, I thought were pretty amazing. I thought the build up was great, and then obviously you find out sort of what happens. It tells you, what's sort of going on in this film. But with I just think with Nope, it just for me, it just didn't make a lot of sense, and there wasn't anything coming together, piecing together. I get that, like Andy, you said that you read reviews and stuff after it, and probably you sort of now understand.
Only after it did I like this film because other people told me about what was going on.
But for me, when I watch a film, I just want to sort of know. I sort of want to know what's going on in the film as well. And I want a bit of,
honestly, I'm with you all the way. Did you think it was a bit of a mess?
Yeah. I just thought it was a bit all over the place, and I just didn't get any. The characters, for example, I didn't get any like feelings from the characters or any you don't really get to know them as much. It's kind of vague, and then it moves on to the next thing, and then like you say, the aliens, an alien ship just pops out of nowhere, and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? Well, this is about monkeys, and then all of a sudden there's a UFO flying around.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way, and that's fucking praying mantis. Fuck off! Yeah,
wait there.
Off. I hate
Andy. You've just like swung. You've just swung from ending your recap by saying, "Yeah, it's amazing. Go and watch it." And now, now with Will, you're sort of like, "Yeah, you know what? I agree with you. It's really rubbish."
Nope is a fucking shit film to watch, but I'm well glad I watched it. I love that it exists.
You say you want to watch it again.
I do want to watch it again.
I want to watch it again, to be fair. I do want to watch it. And I haven't even read that many reviews about it, but I do want to watch it again.
I think, Dave, your opinion's going to change a bit if you watch it again. That's what I think. And that's not, and not reading any reviews either. I think your opinion is going to change a bit, because I think what I was telling Andy about this, because usually the convention of these type of like spectacle films is if there's like an alien involved, you know, we're used to our Independence Day where, you know, we've got fighter jets kind of, you know, fighting big aliens and, you know, all that stuff. But the intention of this film, the intention of the main characters of the film isn't to defeat what's there or even escape what's there. It's actually to basically get their 5 minutes of fame with this thing. So in a way, possibly if you know that it's going to go that way, possibly if you know where the film is going to go, I think you're probably going to enjoy it more. That's what I think.
No, like I say, I do want to watch it again. As weird as it sounds, I do want to watch it again. But yeah, no, I was just so bored. I was just like, oh my god, I'm so bored. And yeah, I can't. My opinion has to be in the 2 hours. Like films, like The Matrix, I love that. Like that really entertained me. But then I find out like 15 years later that it's sort of a metaphor for, you know, being transgender and stuff. And I'm like, wow, that's really, really clever. Fuck me, that's great. But the film is still kung fu versus computers, and it entertained me for 2 hours. And then tell me about this really clever metaphor. But you have to entertain me. It's a cinema.
Hold up, David. Dave, let me just tell you something. Who have you said on this podcast is one of your favorite directors? I
don't know who.
David Lynch.
David Lynch? Yeah.
So what do you think? Is Mulholland Drive like a big? Is there like kung fu against computers and all that stuff? Like the metaphors are like in your face.
Lesbians.
Oh Christ!
There's lesbians. So
not in all of his films. It's just one of his films.
No, like Mulholland Drive is a fucking masterpiece. It's really entertaining. But yeah, this film just bored me. I was so bored from start to finish. And I just didn't get it. That opening scene where they're trying to sell the horse or do an advert for a horse. I was just like, what the fuck's this? And who the fuck cares? And it's just like, oh my god. In retrospect, the chimp scene when he goes apeshit was pretty funny. But apart from that,
you found that funny? I felt that was like genuinely unsettling. Like,
no, I was like, this is what the PG Tips advert should be like. That is fucking awesome. That would have sold more tea. Yeah, you sing it, I'll it. Actually, no, I'm just smash your face. Yeah. But yeah, no, I mean, that was entertaining. That was pretty intense.
That's my favourite bit, probably, that whole bit.
Yeah.
His character, I found his character was just strange and boring, and I couldn't warm to anyone. And it was just like, it was just so boring. And I just didn't like any of the characters. It's just,
It's funny you say that, because I was talking to Shafi about like Daniel Kaluuya's character, and I was like, fucking hell, you're so down all the time. But then, like I was saying, like he did just lose his father like 6 months before, I think, all these things. So you can't, I've got to remember he's grieving and stuff. But
yeah, he was with his dad. It was with his dad when he got killed. So like, there's like a sense of trauma there.
But it's hard to warm to him as a viewer, I felt.
Yeah.
And the sister, she was just a bit fucking annoying.
I really liked her, and I really liked her performance as well.
Was there supposed to be like a contrast to the characters? Obviously, like
big, proper chalk and cheese, weren't they?
Yeah,
big time.
Well, she needs to chill out, and he needs to cheer up.
She's sort of the face of the business now, and he's sort of like the brains of the business, I guess.
There must have been hints then that he was more like that before his dad died, because that bit where they like high five each other, they're both proper going out, aren't they? Like, he gets involved with that, man. So maybe like he was more of an person.
It's sort of hinted that he's like the favorite child. So he was put on this sort of pedestal, possibly, as you said, like it hints that he he did have more of sort of an active personality. I enjoyed it, and I mean, I think the film is like stunning. Like it's just like incredible to watch. And
when you say stunning, do you mean like visually stunning?
Yeah, visually, and even
I agree.
like
the night scenes are unreal.
Yeah, incredible. Like it's like unlike anything else. Like it's and the design of, but also like just the chase scenes, and and the music, and it was like a prop. But the thing is, it's funny that for Dave and Will, you kind of found I guess like the metaphor or the kind of subtext kind of off-putting, but I kind of like how weird it is. Like how the fact is that Jordan Peele's made 2 crowd-pleasing films with like Get Out and Us, where this film he's got like the bigger canvas of it, and he's probably got a bigger budget than the previous films, but he's ended up making like the weirdest, most sort of like abstract film, and I really like that. But what I was going to say is, who's seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind here?
Me.
Hi there.
So Kyle has. Yeah, Dave, you've seen it.
Yeah, I didn't particularly like it either. I thought that was a weird film.
It feels like very much like that film, and the fact that I can imagine like a lot of audiences having the same reaction that Dave had with this film after watching Close Encounters of the Third Kind, because it is like that. Their ending is a downer. Like he leaves his family to kind of go on that spaceship, and
hold on. I'd say that very differently. His family are twats, man. His family it's like the worst family. So he's like, fuck this, I'm fucking off to a different planet. they're the worst, man. Do you remember there's a scene at the beginning where
So by the way, spoiler for Will who hasn't seen this film.
Yeah,
but anyway.
there's a scene at the beginning where there was the family lounge, and the kids are just running around destroying the fucking house, and he's just there, just like, and the mum's just sitting there letting him do it.
What kids aren't doing that? What kids aren't?
That's just a normal night at my house.
He's trying to do something. He's saying to the wife, like, "Can you go and sort them, please?" And she's just ignoring him. She's like, "Yeah, fuck this. I'm off to a different planet." See, I hated most of that film. But I actually like the third act.
Kyle spends every night on his keyboard going do do do, trying to communicate with aliens, saying, "Please pick me up, please take me away from Earth." Yeah, but okay, yeah, that's what it feels like. It feels like I can imagine someone going, "Wait there, this isn't ET," or like this is this isn't like Raiders of the Lost Ark. Like what is going on? This is not the type of film I've been promised. And I kind of like that this is like a spiritual kind of a spiritually connected film where everyone's like, oh, right, that was, like that's, it's not that they defeat the aliens at the end, or, the alien comes out and they make friends with it. It's actually about kind of getting your like 5 minutes of fame. But anyway, but I'm not going to kind of go into the meaning. I'm going to put it to Will. Because Will, you said you've not done any reading on this film or anything like that. What do you think this film means?
I can't really tell you, to be honest, because I don't know. I genuinely don't.
Yeah,
I genuinely don't know.
Like having you on the show has been useless.
Because
just perform some songs then. Jesus Christ.
No, I mean, no, because I think when I came out we came out of the cinema, when I first saw the film, I was like, oh, I thought the monkey was going to be the UFO for a second, because I was like, what was the relevance of the monkey in the episode? I mean, I'm sure there is a subliminal meaning or some sort of meaning behind having the monkey in the film, but I just found it difficult to understand really what was going on half the time. And I imagine it's got something to do. Well, obviously the chewing you up and spitting out the shards or the leftovers. There's obviously something to do with the whole industry itself of being sucked up, and then I don't know if I'm saying that right or not. But it's something to do with getting sucked up and getting chewed back out again.
Yeah.
That's one thing I got from it, but that's about it really.
I had a weird theory. I thought the horses might be aliens. At one point, it's like, are all horses aliens? And because this is before you knew it was a creature, I thought it was a ship. I'm like, is this just taking the horses back home? But yeah, obviously wrong. Yeah.
Right. Nice.
Star Trek 4.
What about you, Dave? What do you think this film's about?
Fuck knows, mate. I haven't got a clue. Literally don't have a clue. It's about a fucking monster, isn't it? Like Tremors. I thought it was like that. It's like Jellicatu, you know, you can read into it, there's loads of metaphors, or you can just enjoy the film on the level. And I was hoping to be able to enjoy this film on the level, but I have no idea what this film was about. I don't get it, but I'm never very good at that sort of stuff. So I don't know. Like, how much had you read about it before watching it, Shafi?
I hadn't read any. I made sure that I didn't see any sort of spoilers or anything like that.
Okay, so
I think with those sort of films, though, you kind of do need to read up about it, because then when you do watch it, then it kind of makes sense. I don't know, maybe that I would have got a different perspective if I.
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? It's like a catch-22, isn't it? It's a strange one, isn't it? Because if you're reading somebody else's perception of the film before watching the film, it's going to guide you, even if you don't realize it. You're going to look at it differently. So, yeah, I just again, like, there was no tits, there was no explosions, there was no guns. I was just like, oh, come on.
I'm pretty sure if Jordan Peele was on this call, he would say that he would prefer us not to read anything about the film before watching the film. Like, we should just enjoy it on the surface level. You know, that's the thing. Like,
I can't. It was so boring.
I didn't enjoy it on the surface level, though. That's the thing. I didn't enjoy it on the surface level.
Sorry, Jordan, if you're listening, but yeah.
Yeah. Jordan, join the other 7 people that listen to this podcast, yeah?
Just give a shout out to Honduras.
Yeah.
You're taking away a list already.
I don't know why I'm recording this, because Will's here. We just record it. Just remember
it. Will won a competition to be on our show. Collect 7 crisp packets and those on our show. Yeah.
He made the competition, was the only person to enter it.
Honestly, this was like finding the golden ticket to Willy Wonka. Honestly, brilliant. Lucky you.
Okay, so Kyle, because you enjoyed it the most out of us all, what's your favourite parts of the film?
Yeah, I really liked what was the monkey called?
Gordy,
yeah, that whole bit. Just the first person point of view. Just, like eerie as fuck, man, isn't it?
Yeah. It was so... But even sort of, because it opens with that, doesn't it?
And then obviously you could see him. What was she called? Mary Jo. You could see him just like mutilating. Is it Mary Jo? You can see him, but you can't. You can only see like the legs reacting.
Yeah.
But that whole, I mean, that could have been a whole film itself, couldn't it? That whole little subplot.
Yeah.
And the story of Stephen Yeun's character, was it Jupe or Jupe?
I think it was Jupe. I think.
Yeah. Yes. Really interesting, man. Like, what I didn't get at the time, but it was really obvious afterwards, is that, you know, he's got the trauma from an animal being kept in captivity and trying to, you know, monetize an animal, and then he tries to do the same with Jean Jacket, doesn't he? He gets all the people to come and watch the alien eat the horse, and it obviously goes very badly. I did like the third act. I thought it was great. Just like lots of really good visuals. Just they all sold it well. I kind of agree that Daniel Kaluuya, was really low key, but I don't know, they all sold it. But yeah, Keke Palmer was great. I've not heard of that. The guy that played Angel, Brandon Pereira, I've never heard of him before. He was great as well. And fucking Michael Wincott, man. Where's he disappeared from? He's like, I'm back. Yeah, it's me.
Yeah, he's just, you can't just ignore him in a film, right? He's just
he deserves a bit bigger and better career, doesn't he? He really does. Like, I'm a huge fan. He's in one of my favorite films ever, The Crow, and I love Alien Resurrection. And I wish I spoke like that. I wish that was my voice.
That's like 60 a day, isn't it?
I think chicks would dig that.
Dave, have you seen Metro?
Yeah, of course. I watched it with you.
You watched it with me? All right. Okay, all right,
yeah.
He's great in that film as well.
Yeah, he's a good baddie. Well, obviously he's always going to play the bad guy, really, I guess. Yeah, Metro. That's a shit film, but he's good in that.
I don't mind Metro. I think it's quite good. I think it's cool to see. It's always cool to see Eddie Murphy in those kind of action roles. But
it's his first film since Ghost in the Shell. Do you think after Ghost in the Shell he was just like, I'm not doing films anymore?
Yeah. He looks great though. He looks really cool.
Oh, chill out, Christ!
It's very
I had to Google his age straight away. I was like, shit, he is old, isn't he?
Will, what's your favourite Michael Wincott performance?
Who's Michael Wincott again?
Who are you talking about?
He's the old
The cinematographer.
Oh, him, yeah. So what films
he's
he been in?
like Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and loads of like 90s films.
Crow is his best performance. Just there's no question.
Strange Days.
No, I got nothing. Sorry.
Okay, there you go. Thanks, that Will.
Honestly, Will, it's like this every single time we record. Just go off on tangents about some fucking.
Just say the Three Musketeers, Will. Just say the Three Musketeers.
Oh yeah, Three Musketeers. That's it. Yeah, it was great as D'Artagnan.
Will, have you seen The Crow?
No,
Brandon.
You're my kindred spirit, mate. Welcome to the podcast.
Will, please watch The Crow at some point over the next few weeks.
Andy, have you got any favourite parts of this film or not? Or
I like the bit where, and I didn't know the alien could do this at this point, but like when it's like fucking bleeding over the house, like a big square, that was mental. Yeah. I like the mad, like if you took acid and then you went to watch E.T., the bit in E.T. where they touch fingers, like when the gorilla, like the fist pump thing, that was fucking insane. I liked the bit where the flailing tube men was like similar to Jaws with the barrels and stuff. I like that.
To the viewers, Andy is gyrating and thrusting his hips.
So I thought that was quite cool. I quite like the fucking mad bit where you're just seeing the animal spaceship just darting about in the clouds. That's quite mad, that just darting about and like he's looking up and you're looking up. And the best bit for me was when that dude from the electronic shop turns up in the van and the music starts playing. I wear my sunglasses at night. So that was quality in the cinema. Like the speaker, 1 minute it was coming out on the left, then it was coming out on the right, and that's why I said earlier. Like I don't think you need to see this film in the cinema for anything other than the audio. So that's my 2 pence on it.
So yeah, Kyle, going back to you, you got like the full experience of it, and regardless of not watching in the cinema, right?
Well, when you sent the message saying if you don't see it in the cinema, then you're not really seeing the point of the film, I still thought, oh, fuck it, it's been released digitally now, I'm going to watch it at home. So
fuck you, Shafi.
Fuck you, Shafi.
Yeah, AirPods in, volume high, dark room, all lights off, sat close to telly. Yeah, so, well, yeah. Every film, mate.
Dave, do you have any highlights of the film or none whatsoever?
Yeah, to be fair, I do, yeah. The final credits was pretty awesome. And I was able to leave the cinema. So, yeah, that was a highlight for me. No, to be honest,
I've never seen, I don't think I've heard, other than Ford versus Ferrari, I've not felt you kind of actively hate a film. Like, this isn't even offensive, this film. You go after the most inoffensive films.
Hearing that song from The Lost Generation, that was the highlight of the film for me. That was really cool when she was listening to it and dancing to it. I did quite like their house and stuff like that. So that was the highlight for me. Lost Generation blasting out in the cinema. That was buzzing.
I need to watch it again.
Will, do you have any particular moment that kind of stuck out for
you? I actually thought the monkey scene was good. When obviously he starts going on a rampage, it was actually quite a chilling moment, and then the whole fist bumping before he gets shot, and it's just kind of what the hell just happened here? You kind of just want to. I kind of wanted to know what more of that story or how that ended up playing out. Yeah. I kind of wanted to know a bit more about that. So,
but he explains, doesn't he? Doesn't he explain to them?
No, he says go watch the Saturday Night Live sketch. They describe it best. Which is really weird, isn't it? Yeah. It's like the way his way of processing trauma. The way his way of processing trauma is fucked up, man. It's like I'm just gonna try and make money out of this, rather than fucking. Which I suppose,
Which is what Daniel Kaluuya's character does, because this is the thing that's responsible for killing his dad, and he wants to take a photo with it. Yeah,
that's the thing. Like everything I read about this film is that it's all about spectacle. So like even the monkey thing, like there's something so fucking mental and traumatic. Like the fans are intrigued and excited by such a horror. Like it didn't like at one point Duke talk about like some people wanted to sleep over and pay like thousands of pounds just to be in the room with that sort of fucking thing. So $50,000, Jesus, that's fucking. That's
So,
mental.
Will, what were you going to say, Will?
No, I was just. I was going to give another.
He coughed.
I was going to give
He
another
coughed.
favorite. I was going to give another favorite part. But,
Go on.
and also,
Let's see your other favorite part.
no, I like the. Well, I don't know. I'm talked about it, but the motorbike scene with the VMT guy, the VMTV guy, and he's like cycling. He's driving along, and then
TMZ.
TMZ. Sorry, TMZ. Yeah. And he's like obviously driving along, wanting to catch that moment or whatever, and the electric's all cut out. And just all flat in his face.
Oh yeah. So talking of motorbikes, that scene later on with the motorbike where she does that slide.
Well, here we go. Andy, you say the word motorbike, and Andy gets a boner. Go on.
The way Shafi, you'll know about this. Like, there's some like Akira Japanese film or whatever, and it's like got this insanely famous motorbike slide scene. Apparently, that's taken directly from that.
Yeah, apparently Jordan Peele's like a big Akira fan, and at one point he was mooted to actually do a live action remake of Akira. So there's quite an obvious nod at the end. So that's kind of like the final. It's like the last but final shot, right? Of
I want Andy to watch Akira because I think you'll be. I think it's fucking shit. But anyway, it's wank. Yeah, I hate it. It's fucking. It's just too weird, man. Fuck this.
Wow.
Yeah. Sorry, Will. You mentioned motorbikes, and I took over.
Wow. So all the Nope fans, we apologise about this podcast. All the Akira fans, we apologise about this podcast.
Okay.
Anyway. So
can someone just please explain why the monkey was there? I'm still waiting for Shafi to tell me what the point was.
I just said that. It's a spectacle.
No, we've said that basically it's got to do with taking advantage of like the things in front of you and kind of and that's what that whole TV show was about, taking advantage of this.
So it's all about sort of like making money and taking advantage of a situation.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, but you even said it right from the beginning. Well, you said that it's got to do, for me, what I kind of got from it straight away is it got to do with like consumerism, right? It's this thing that is overbearing everyone. It literally consumes something and then as you said, chews it up and spits you out. I tell you what. One of my favorite scenes is actually when Jupe actually gets kind of sucked up, because you see what actually happens inside the spaceship, and they're sort of like jammed in between like two walls, and you hear like the screaming and stuff like that.
This is it, man. And I don't know if you noticed, but like when this film started, I was literally within 20 seconds, like because of a similar scene, thinking this is going to be the greatest fucking movie of all time, because you don't know it at the time, but the camera starts out inside the alien and you can see the picture of the black jockey riding. Yeah. And it's like, you think you're in like this weird tunnel room or a disco or whatever. And then I was like, I fucking blew my mind that scene. Like that was stunning. When you were saying earlier, Shafi, that's one thing I need to stress to everybody listening, is that you can say this film is boring, it's messed up and all the rest of it, but visually there is some insanely exciting, stunning stuff going on.
Well, also another thing is that something that maybe I'm wrong here, but the both siblings don't really seem that bothered about their horses being like taken away. And at one point they sort of treat their horses as sort of disposable, because there's a point where like Daniel Kaluuya is sort of like running away from the actual like spaceship sucking everything up, and then like the horse actually does get consumed, but he's sort of like relieved. He's like hiding in a shed, looking sort of relieved, and it's just sort of like treating these things around you as sort of like disposable for like your own kind of success, really. And that's kind of for me, like thematically, that's it kind of plays along with the rest of the themes.
Yeah, maybe their dad was like saw more of them as a creature, and they were just like, it's just a business.
Yeah, exactly. And that's exactly
over and we don't want to do it. Yeah,
that's exactly what Keke Palmer was about. Kind of when she heard about selling the business, she wanted to sell it straight away.
Yeah.
Where
it's interesting you say that, because Jordan Peele there's a statement from him, and he said he was talking about Gordy at the time, but similar to the horses. He said people take advantage of animals and people, and Gordy sequence is important because it represented my early career as a performer.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Because if he started in Mad TV, didn't he? So possibly like he was the doing quote unquote he was the token black guy, So the fact that people kind of at the moment there's a sort of push for diversity, but is there is it just tokenism, or is it actually sort of coming from a place of like real representation? And I think that's there's like a big difference in that. And I think that's sort of important, and that's probably him expressing himself about how he feels in the industry at the moment. He wants to make his own stamp and sort of say how he sort of feels about the world.
Yeah, I just want to ask something before I forget. Like, the monkey scene was like one of the most mental things I've ever seen, like on screen, right? And like what I didn't realise was when it was being filmed and stuff, like the sofa, for example, on the set was 30% bigger than a normal sofa. So the motion actor playing the chimpanzee could look like a chimpanzee and all the rest of it. So okay, I was like, okay, that's interesting, blah, 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 blah. And I was thinking about the scene, but so one thing I don't get is there was a shoe in the middle of the room that was just upright. Now, I cannot get an answer from anywhere about what the fuck this shoe is doing. Like, why in the middle of this insanely mental scene, but like that scene's kind of placed in realism, I guess, there is this odd shoe that's just standing completely upright, like defying the laws of physics.
I wouldn't put it past Jordan Peele just to put it in there just so people talk about it, and there's no real reason. Like the watermelon in Buckaroo Banzai.
But then don't you think it's got to do with, it's not really about kind of what the shoe means or whatever, but it's just like one still image of what trauma is like. So for instance, in that first Jordan Peele film, it was about the deer, wasn't it? The deer? Because he runs over the deer. No, did he run over the deer? I can't remember what happened with the deer. There's something about a deer, isn't there?
I'm sure he did. On the way there.
He runs over a deer, and then he's talking about how his mum died, and he sort of was just sitting in front of the TV, and the deer represents something to that. So that's the thing. It's like one single image to remind him of that trauma, So I don't know.
Wow. Okay.
It's just, I guess, it's something that he sees. It's not. Yeah. I guess because they'll be playing it as him as a child, right? So, I mean, I guess he just sees that shoe, whether or not it actually is still or not.
Right.
Dave, have we given you
insane.
any?
I think Dave started walking home.
I know, Dave. Have we given you any rope to think? Oh, actually, I'm going to give this film the benefit of the doubt, and I'm going to. Yeah, I mean, are we helping in that way or not?
No.
Okay. Jesus fucking Christ.
To be fair, like I said, I think if I had read a bit more about the film before watching it, I don't know. I think I might have a different opinion on it, but like I say, it's probably not the right thing to do. But I think for me, to help me understand and then help what the sort of the film it's going to be about, then because like I say, a lot of the stuff just doesn't make sense. Maybe if I watch it again, it'll probably make a bit more sense.
Honestly, I can agree with you more. The viewing experience is not great, like from a standpoint of being entertained.
Like
visually, it's stunning.
End to the other, Andy. You're like, this film's fucking
I've stuck
shit.
to my guns all night.
Great. No,
all I'm saying is, watching this film is shit, but watching this film is also quality.
Reading about it afterwards might be great, but watching the film is shit.
I disagree.
The bit at the end where he's just sat on that horse like a cowboy is fucking gangster. That's quality. And when the alien
and
turns into its full-blown jellyfish thing,
it's not an alien.
Is quality.
It's not an alien,
but it is a bit boring.
It's
so also boring. Riding the astral planes of madness. So I quite like that.
What makes you say it's not an alien, Dave?
It's not an alien.
Of course it is.
Why?
It's not an alien.
It's like Tremors.
I always said it was an animal, didn't I?
Yeah, it's a native animal.
A native animal?
Yes. What makes you think it's an alien?
Well, you just think it was on Earth always?
Yeah.
That's interesting, Dave. Yeah. Well done. That's a very interesting point. There's nothing that says it's actually from space.
The Loch Ness monster of
this is what I love. Nope.
Megalodon.
You've just opened up another fucking door of madness for me.
Yeah.
Right, you should everyone listening, you need to go and watch this film. But it's a bit shit, but it's also quality. So the question is, would we all go and buy a ticket for Jordan Peele's next film if you hadn't seen the trailer?
Would not hesitate. Would not hesitate.
Yeah, me too. Well said. Would not hesitate.
Yeah. I haven't seen Us yet. I need to watch Us.
Also,
I need
to see it's the only time I'll get to see Will again. So,
yeah, true. Yeah.
This when you fly to London at the IMAX.
You're paying, Will, yeah? Yeah, just getting that.
yeah.
I'm about to bring the intelligence of this podcast right down, so I apologise now.
No worries.
Right, so I had a weird theory. Like, when you're watching the film, like trying to figure out what the fuck's going on. So one of the, when they get eaten, it's almost like a reverse giving birth. They're travelling back up the birth canal. It's really fucking weird. So I'm like, is this just like a big fucking flying vagina just flying around there? Like, anti-birth to people. It's weird as fuck.
Typical Kyle. Always thinking
of
Panani.
Well, and then it just has a massive period over the house. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's what Jordan Peele meant. That's what it is. A flying vagina that periods out metal.
Nice.
And when when you saw Mary Jo when she's got the veil on, I was just like, please show her face, please do it. Fingers crossed, please do it. And they did it. So it's like, yeah, that's fucked up. There's a true story that's kind of based off. And I watched a documentary about years ago. A chimpanzee ate her face off.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah, it's grim, man. Yeah, it's grim. She had like fucking thousands of surgeries, and yeah.
Oh my god!
Right, that's all I've got.
I think that's our discussion on Nope. As you heard, it's created a mixed response, but me and Kyle are kind of in the very positive camp. Andy sounds like he didn't even watch the film. Sounded like he just been agreeing with
honestly,
he's just been agreeing with
he just agreed with everyone else.
yeah. He's just been agreeing. But yeah. That part was really good as well. Yeah, that part was really good.
I accidentally saw Get Out.
and Will and Dave were very miserable and hated it. So there you go. That is our discussion of Nope. Now,
big shout out to Keith David. Obviously, Jordan Peele's a big fan of The Thing, I assume.
He's the Jun Kunimura of Hollywood.
He is, yeah, he is.
There's a little in joke for the viewers that got that reference. But anyway, so thank you very much, Will. Let's all give Will a round of applause. Being a great sport.
No job.
Andy's refusing.
No job. Well, mate, that was fucking awful.
I know.
No. I thought I'd never seen any films. You've literally seen nothing.
It's all right though. He's not freaks like us. That's why he's not.
Oh no! Fuck me.
He's actually like a really cool, singer, rugby player, all that stuff. So
I'm just like the standard movie watcher,
No,
I know, mate. Who the fuck hasn't seen Apollo 13?
No, Will, the words movie watcher and you should not even be in the same sentence, right? Anyway, okay, that's fine. So thanks a lot, Will, for coming. You've been a great sport, and how have you enjoyed your time here?
That's been great. No, thanks for having me on.
It's the one word review. The one word review. The one word review from us to you.
Except for Carl, who says, "Oh, that's fucking quality."
Okay, so Kyle, what's your one word review?
Blockbuster.
Will, what's your one word review?
Forgetful.
Wow.
No. That's probably a bit harsh. I mean, probably just skip. Because
skip.
Yeah. Because I'd watch the next one like you guys said, but yeah, this one wasn't for me.
Skip.
Skip's the best one word you've ever heard.
The next Jordan Peele film title is called Skip. Dave, what's your one-word review?
Nope.
Okay. And Andy, what's your one-word review?
Hoover.
Nice, great, fantastic, great. Well, there you go.
What's
That
yours?
is mine is epic. I think I already said that for another film, but anyway.
Sure, it's not Skip.
Now it is time to pass the baton to Dave, whose next film choice is for the next episode. So, Dave, you know what, Andy? Though you've enjoyed Dave's choices for the past couple of films. So,
what, the Singing in the Rain?
Tucker and Dale.
Yeah, that was good. That was amazing, actually.
What's the one
you seen
before
Tucker and Dale, Will?
No.
No.
Oh, Will, watch Tucker and Dale. It's so funny. It is
good, is it?
hilarious. Yeah, honestly, it's so good.
Well, I hope you've been taking notes of the films we've been talking about.
Yeah, honestly, I've got like a massive pile of films that I need to watch. It gives me a little.
Please watch Jalika 2. Please watch it. And Will, seriously, if you've got to spare 5 hours, watch this film called RRR.
It's 3 hours, man.
Honestly, please,
hours.
mate, please.
I was telling you
Please.
about RRR, wasn't I? Well, not. No.
Are you?
Okay. Anyway, you're just probably not listening to me when I talk. As usual. So, Dave, what is your choice for the next film?
Well, I was tempted to say Stranger Than Paradise, but I want to keep Andy in my good books. So I've got a few. So I know Shafi's seen it, but have the other two seen Clerks?
I've not.
Wow, you've not seen Clerks?
I've seen about the first 20 minutes, and then something came up, and then it went off Netflix. So, yeah, I've seen the first 20 minutes. That's it.
I'm
Okay.
going to love this film. You fucking sexy bastard, Dave. Thank you.
All right, cool. If that's okay, because obviously we always say that no one's seen except Shafi. So the caveat is Shafi. So, yeah, I'm going to say Clerks.
What was that noise? It's like a
Yeah,
floating-
he's just gone above the corner shop.
Will's just turned on Jellicatu, I'm sure.
That is, so Kyle, does that mean you're going to try and contact Kevin Smith to appear in our podcast?
No, I did tweet his mate the other day.
Jason Mewes?
No, Mark Bernardin, who's his podcast friend. He didn't reply.
Oh, well, there you go. Nice. Thank you very much, Dave. That's going to be an exciting episode to record. Right, so Kyle, would you like to tell the viewers how to get in touch with us?
All right, please get in touch with us. Send any questions, comments, praise, hate mail, or one-word reviews to the Popcorn Postbag at whodroppedthepopcorn@gmail.com, or follow, harass us on Twitter at whopopcorn, or on Instagram and TikTok at whodroppedthepopcorn. You can also leave a review on your podcast app, and please remember to like and subscribe. You've been listening to Who Dropped the Popcorn. We really appreciate it. See you soon.